Since before you can even remember, your world has been saturated with moving pictures on screens, streaming, scrolling, watching basically whatever you want, or more accurately, whatever the algorithm wants you to watch. This means you need different tools to learn than I did, or your parents did. We had to sit in the living room, watching a television with maybe 5 channels, with grainy, low-resolution systems. Because we had so little video, we had to resort to reading for entertainment, and eventually, we actually learned to like it. That's thousands of hours of our adolescence learning vital literacy skills, hours that you have unknowingly and unwittingly sacrificed to the algorithmic gods. Here's your problem. You're stuck in what people of my generation would call a catch-22. You need strong reading skills, not just for school, but for life. But many people your age don't yet possess the literacy skills necessary to consume and learn from traditionally delivered educational content. Basically, you need to be able to read better than you already do in order to learn what you don't already know about reading and writing. This isn't your fault, but that doesn't mean it isn't your problem. So instead of trying to convince you to read educational content that will help you learn to read and write, I did something different, something better. I maximized your media preferences.
Hi, I'm Dr. Clay Zuba. I earned my PhD in 2016 and now have almost 20 years of teaching experience in high school, undergraduate, and graduate English courses. I've served as a regular AP reader and table leader since 2016, and in the spring of 2024, I invented Zubafy. Zubafy is a YouTube channel with, at this time, over 80 videos focused on teaching you the writing fundamentals, literary analysis skills, and test-taking strategies you need to become a stronger reader, writer, and critical thinker. Whatever the skills you want to improve, I have videos for you. My videos range from 8 to 12 minutes, each focused on a specific concept or skill. The goal? To teach you through the medium that you already prefer through exciting and educational videos. But Zubafy's videos aren't just exciting, they actually work. Let's look at the evidence for my students' AP Language and Composition scores. Before I integrated videos systematically throughout an entire academic year, my AP Language students' mean score was 3.26. After a full year of deliberate video instruction, in 2024 to 2025, the mean score rose to 3.51. A quarter-point increase in the highest mean over the last 5 years. Here's what makes this evidence even more compelling though. Our 2025 passing rate, students scoring 3 or higher, was 87.5%. The state of Arizona's passing rate, which is where I'm currently teaching, is 72.6%. And the global passing rate is 74.3%. This is nearly 15 points above state average. Students who might have scored 2s were now scoring 3s. Students who might have scored 3s are scoring 4s. Zubafy helps students move up the proficiency scale with remarkable consistency. But it isn't just standardized test scores that testify to the power of Zubafy. In 2025, I surveyed 122 of my current students. Here's what one of them said of my videos on writing rhetorical appeals. The videos made me realize that the writer does not use rhetorical appeals, but instead engages the audience. This student is articulating a fundamental shift in understanding, recognizing that authors don't use rhetorical appeals like ingredients in a recipe, but rather make specific rhetorical choices that evoke responses in audiences. Statements like this one speak to Zubafy's potential for conceptual transformation. So why does Zubafy work though? Why are these videos helping students learn so much? The answer lies in recent developments in multimedia learning theory. According to this field, as pioneered by UCLA professor Richard Mayer, people learn more deeply from words and pictures together than from words alone. When you receive information from both verbal and visual channels simultaneously, you construct richer mental models and arrive at a deeper understanding than through either channel alone. Zubafy videos are designed around 3 principles in particular that Mayer's research identified. First, shorter, focused videos. Instead of a 50-minute classroom lecture covering like 10 concepts, I create a separate 8 to 10 video for each one addressing one specific skill or misconception. This means you're not overwhelmed by extraneous information. You're getting exactly what you need to understand this one thing right now. Second, I use visual cues to direct your attention. I use on-screen text, color coding, arrows, and highlighting to direct your attention to specific textual evidence. This isn't just decoration, it's cognitive scaffolding. Your brain knows exactly where to look and what to focus on. This type of learning is especially valuable in the English language arts, where you can only learn how I'm analyzing by seeing and hearing it through specific textual examples that I can display on the screen for you. In my 2025 student survey, one student wrote, "I liked how you explicitly gave steps to writing because it makes the writing process less intimidating." Third, you control the pace. Unlike classroom lectures that proceed at my pace, whether you're ready or not, video allows you to pause, rewind, and rewatch until you understand. You manage your own cognitive load. And here's the proof that students like you are actually using this capability. 99.2% of my students report rewatching videos at least occasionally. 26% rewatch frequently to better understand concepts. Another 5% rewatch entire videos multiple times. As one student wrote, "I rewatch them whenever I need a reminder or clarification. Being able to pause and rewind helps me understand better than just hearing it once in class." These students are not passively consuming content the way you might scroll TikTok. They're actively managing their own learning according to their individual needs. Zubafy is here to help you also learn according to your individual needs. So now you know exactly how it works. You know why it works. Now let me tell you exactly how to use Zubafy to maximize your learning. Step 1, create the right environment. Your brain already has trouble focusing. That's not an insult, it's the reality of how your generation's brains have been trained to spread and dilute their focus by constant stimulation. I've given you Zubafy as a tool to help you, but you still have to concentrate in order to learn. Put your phone in another room. Close all tabs except for the video. Get a notebook. If you want to develop the skills to write and read in depth, you need to learn with depth. Your brain has already been trained to process information broadly and at a surface level. You need to retrain it to process with depth, or you'll never have any useful ideas and your writing will always be vague and shallow. Step 2, watch like a normal person. Do not watch at 1.5 or 2 times speed. Even if your brain is craving a dopamine rush from TikTok and is trying to trick you into taking shortcuts. If you don't watch TikTok at 2 times speed, why would you watch Zubafy like that if you wanted to learn? I designed Zubafy to meet you halfway, in your preferred medium, but that does not mean it is a shortcut, because there are no shortcuts. You need to watch at normal speed for multimedia learning to work. Your brain needs time to process both verbal and visual information simultaneously and to build connections between them. When you speed it up, you're defeating the entire purpose of the video format. You might at first think that watching faster makes you smarter, or that it's smart to watch things faster. But if you really think about it, it isn't, because instead of saving time, you're actually wasting time watching at that speed. Embrace the art of slow learning. Slow learning is deeper learning and lasting learning. Step 3, pause and take notes. Just like in class lectures, you need notes to help you learn. It helps your brain process the information when you write it down and organize it as you understand it. Pause every few minutes then and write down the main point. Then use the 3-2-1 method. After you watch a video, write down 3 things you learned, 2 questions you still have, and 1 way you'll apply this in your next essay. This forces you to actively process what you just watched instead of letting it wash right over you. Step 4, use my examples as models for your writing, not as a replacement for your writing. When I show you examples of good writing, copy the best examples by hand in your notebook. This allows you to internalize the structure and rhythm of effective writing. The iconic 1960s counterculture journalist Hunter S. Thompson did this when he typed out F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. He wanted to feel the words and rhythms pulsing through his fingers to understand what it felt like to write that novel. You might not aspire to be an award-winning journalist, but you can still benefit by taking the time to copy effective writing examples and internalizing their cadence and conventions. Then, practice using those examples as your model. But you do not want to try to copy my language and structure exactly. Remember, I wrote these examples based on analysis of specific passages or writing prompts. When you practice, you should use a similar but distinct text for your practice. Think of my model as a container for your ideas. In that container, you need to organize and articulate your ideas according to your own thinking, not mine, because you can't write my thinking, you can only write yours. If you parrot my language and sentence structures without adapting them to your own thinking, you're trying to reproduce the language of thinking without actually thinking. This may be tempting for your brains trained by screens to learn passively, without critical thought, but this is exactly the type of learning that you're trying to unlearn. Write to articulate and develop your own ideas, not to just try to give the appearance of thinking. Step 5. Engage with the community. After you watch the videos, write any questions you have in the comments section. I or other members of the community can then answer your questions. Make sure that you like the videos that help you learn, so I know that they worked for you. If you think I could have done something differently or better, let me know that too. I only want to know how to make the best videos for you, so I can help you learn as much as possible. By doing this, you're helping create a community of readers and writers on this channel, not limited to your individual classroom, not even limited to students in your grade, but beyond. Your questions might make others think about reading and writing differently. You might help me make better videos for future students. If you really like something specific, put that in the comments too, because your comments about what you found most valuable might offer insights and help someone else learn from a different perspective. Zubafy offers the opportunity to learn at your own pace, but that doesn't mean that you're learning alone. The catch-22 is real. You need literacy skills to develop literacy skills, but Zubafy gives you a bridge. Start with one series. I would recommend my Rhetorical Appeals series if you struggle with rhetorical analysis, or my series on introductions and conclusions if you're not as proficient as you'd like to be at writing that part of essays. And watch Zubafy the right way. Focused environment, normal speed, taking notes, engaging actively. You've been given tools that previous generations never had. Channels like Zubafy can help you learn reading and writing skills in ways that traditional textbooks and classroom lectures can't. Use Zubafy strategically, not passively. Use it to grow your critical thinking, not to try to replace it, or to try to merely give the appearance of thinking. Slow learning is deep learning and lasting learning. Yes. Are you ready? Let's get to work.